Solomon every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, noon Eastern. You think about it, we rant about it. Listen to us live on Facebook.
Good morning, or is it good afternoon? Depends on where you are. It is Monday. It's another week. It's August the 9th, and I'm sitting here in my desk in Aventura, Florida. My name is Stuart Brisgel with my partner David Solomon sitting at his desk in Montreal, Quebec, where you're going to get two polarizing views, whether the same or different. And today we're talking about the illustrious, the one, the only, Governor Ron DeSantis. And there are people that love him, people that hate him. And I guess, David, I think you're going to take it away first, but don't steal my thunder, my friend.
No, I'm not going to steal your thunder. Not going to steal your thunder. But folks, I got to tell you something. This is just a proof and example of how the American media either completely demonizes or deifies an individual. And this is also proof positive of the divisive politics that is the United States of America. Ron DeSantis, Republican governor, right? I'll stress that on purpose. Republican governor has been criticized for well over a year and a half because, simply put, he's Republican. Now you're going to sit there and you're going to say to me, David, come on, look what he's done with the coronavirus. Florida was the worst state. Look what he's done. You know, he doesn't have a mandated mask law. He does all these things. He's a terrible governor. Well, let me tell you a couple of things, folks. Okay. First of all, let me start by saying is that Ron DeSantis is one of those guys who believes in live and let live. And you can see that in his philosophy, if you see that in his attitude. And in a world where people want the government to bail your ass out of everything. And frankly, this is what, you're hearing this is like the Democrats want you to be super reliant on them, that you would vote them in because you can't live without. I mean, you don't have a brain, basically. Everybody who says that they have to vote for the Democrat needs to have a lobotomy because you can't function in life. Okay. We put in a seatbelt law because of that. Okay. Because people didn't think of safety. But I mean, forget about that for a second. Ron DeSantis, folks, what's he done wrong? He put in one of the best networks of, of vaccinations in his state and told everybody go get vaccinated. And people were like, oh, crap. Stuart, you're putting my numbers up there. Don't do that. Second of all, he goes out and he tells everybody, we can get rid of the masks. We want to open up businesses. We want to live and live and live. Now, the problem is that when you look at the Democratic states where it's a lot worse with COVID, okay, and while Stuart is throwing numbers here on social media, let me be more blunt, okay? These are the numbers that impact the United States by state. And I want to just emphasize the total number of active cases. And please note the total number of active cases is highest in California, Virginia.
That's right. Hold it, David. We can't read your numbers. But who's the governor in California?
Okay, Governor Newsom, Democrat. Let's talk about Virginia, Democrat. Maryland, Democrat. Washington State, Democrat. Michigan, Democrat. New York, Democrat. Let me just remind everybody that Republican does not equal devil. Number one. Number two, let's talk about deaths, people. Deaths. Okay, the total number of deaths, yes, it is obviously by state and whatever, but lo and behold, we just got through Governor Cuomo lying about numbers. We were talking about Governor Newsom, who's lied through his teeth, but the only person focused on in this entire thing is Ron DeSantis. And Stuart, when 60 Minutes decided to turn this into a shit show of a news media and proof positive of how much they hate him, Ron DeSantis, and I'm just talking about COVID, I'm going to talk about something else afterwards, but Ron DeSantis is scaring the living crap out of 60 Minutes in the media because guess what, people? He could easily be the next president of the United States in 2024.
Okay. Well, first of all, let's slow down a bit. Governor DeSantis is the pride and joy of Florida.
Right.
And, he is definitely one of the sharpest candidates that has come to the forefront in the last 40 years in the Republican Party. He is a former military vet. He is an attorney. He is everyone's sweetheart because he's actually come across as a really sweet, nice guy. and everything they've tried to throw at him.
Nice. I think he's more of a he's a direct, tough guy, but he tells the truth.
No, he's a tough guy, but I mean, he's a nice guy. I mean, he's not here to sugarcoat. He's not here to villainize anyone. He just says it as it is. You know, he's a what you are and like it or lump it kind of guy. And you're right. I put up numbers, right? The biggest number in the United States, according to COVID, Google, last updated 14 hours ago, is California with 4.13 million cases.
But Stuart, people are going to argue with you that California has double the population. So
double the population, right? But that argument doesn't mean COVID travels faster on an airplane or less faster at Dulles International Airport. It doesn't travel at President Barack Obama's dinner parties with 400 people. Listen, let's cut the shit, right? Because if you can have a super spreader event called Lollapalooza, and again, I like the guys at Lollapalooza. I like the music. I wish I would have been there. But the fact of the matter is, that's a super spreader event. But no, it's okay. It's the economy of a democratic state.
Correct.
And they're dying for it, you know, literally. But if you want to be President Obama, you get to have a party. What is good for me, but not for thee. You know, that's an expression that's been used for about 100 years. These guys think, hey, I deserve my private security, right? I'm the guy passing the law. Let's defund the police. But, you know, you can't have a party, but I can. You know what? I love Ron DeSantis at this point. I think the guy is at every single cylinder running and has called out this absurd president, right? This absurd president. Now, you know, I can't.
Did you hear that Biden forgot about him? That
yeah. But Biden forgot about him because he's got senility. He forgot about him because he's actually doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Right.
He forgot about him because they're not able to talk about him because the guy is doing what he's supposed to do, governing the people of the state of Florida first. And not, you know, giving preferences to Barack Obama or any of these other clowns.
But keep in mind that all this is to deflect. All this is to deflect from Cuomo. All this is to deflect from
Cuomo got away with 10,000 murders. You're right, 100%.
And let me go one more step, folks. Okay, and forgive me. Here we are, about halfway through our rant, and we just talked about COVID. Let me talk about your value system. Not just law, the value system. Now, I had a prime minister here, Prime Minister Harper, whom I thoroughly adored and loved. Why? Because the man defied the public convention. Public convention was all about go after and demonize the state of Israel because it's a popular thing to do.
Oh,
well, Governor DeSantis was one of the first governor to stand up and get after not only Ben & Jerry's, but Unilever, to the point that last week, thank you, the Florida placed Ben & Jerry's parent company, Unilever, on its list of scrutinized companies because it's boycotting Israel. Now, why am I bringing this up?
Why are you bringing this up, David? We're talking about Ron DeSantis.
Right, but Ron DeSantis is leading this charge. This is what you do. Where are the Democratic states? Where are the Democratic governors to stand up for their ally? No, they're chicken. They're standing in the background waiting.
Not even the state of New York, the highest population of Jews, and they don't even bother.
Absolutely. I mean, don't forget, Vermont is, Bernie hates Jews, so we'll leave it at that. But because
he's a socialist first. Remember, a socialist first.
Ron DeSantis went out, stood in front of the entire country, and he really embarrassed the president of the United States because he stood up there and said, folks, we stand by our allies. We will boycott Unilever if they boycott Israel. Now, think about this, folks. Unilever is a massive organization. And Ron DeSantis, and, I heard a comment, he's pandering to the Jews for the votes. By the way, the Jewish population in Florida is high, but let me tell you something. That's not where it's going to sway and he's going to win votes.
Listen, when they say they're pandering for the Jewish vote, why don't they say the black vote, Chinese vote, Arab vote, Muslim vote. Why is it only the Jewish vote? What's the percentage of population?
The point I'm trying to get at is Unilever is a Fortune 500 company, and Ron DeSantis stands by his ally, even though Israel is a population of 9 million, even though, and what have you, and you notice he stood up for his value system. That's a problem to the Democratic Party and to Joe Biden, because when you start talking about values, the Democrats want to be called the party of value. All they are the party of vote for me. They're not part of any value system,
David,
and that's why they demonize Ron DeSantis.
Hang on a second. David, let's get the numbers. The amount of Jews in the state of Florida is what percentage, do you think?
I have no idea. Hit me.
3%.
3%. There we go.
Right. Do you know what the percentage of Jewish vote is in New York? Take a guess.
10%.
You're almost right. 9.1%. Do you know what the Jewish population is in Illinois?
Stuart, what is it?
I don't know. I haven't found it yet.
Well, no,
but I'd like to tell you, it's a lot more than 3%.
But the point
3%.
is, but that's the thing. It's the whole thing is DeSantis stands for his value system. And I'm not here to tell you, let's go vote for Ron DeSantis. I'm saying that every single time that Ron DeSantis does something good, here's an example. CNN, Jim Acosta, who was verbally assaulting Donald Trump for 4 years, has decided that we should rename the variant, the Delta variant, to the DeSantis variant. And you know what? This is the form of media that makes me ill. Okay, because when Donald Trump was in power and he called it the Chinese virus,
oh boy,
the Acosta and his idiot media colleagues ripped Trump apart. So now, because Acosta thinks, oh, let's associate the Delta variant with DeSantis.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, again, let's go back to the root of what we're talking about. Why are they picking on DeSantis? Because they got nothing real.
No, but they want to pick on DeSantis because he doesn't want to mandate vaccination for hospital workers. He doesn't want to mandate for people who goes on cruise lines.
Okay, stop. Hang on a second. Listen, in my opinion, David, I don't know about yours, I'm fully vaccinated. You got to be an idiot today not to be vaccinated. But it's your choice. But it's your choice to be an idiot, like it's your choice to vote for Biden.
But the problem is when you're talking approximately 30% of your population, 40% of your population, somewhere in that range where people are not vaxxed, let alone double vaxxed, it's a problem. And I get why. The optics are the problem. But you know what? I am so tired of people, like we're seeing, hospitalizations are down, deaths are being mitigated and whatever. But because we need to inflate numbers and create hysteria, they're misreporting things in Republican states. And it's like, but why are they not running around in California, New York, and Virginia, and Maryland, and all the other Democratic states where there are problems? Why? Because they think that the masks are the only, it's not about masks, people. And the fact is, to sit there and to say that Republicans don't want to get vaccinated and all these statements, and then they go and they tie it to Governor DeSantis. It is such falsehood. It's such disgusting media.
Well, hang on a second. But we should look at this just mathematically.
Thanks for your numbers, bro.
Florida is 49.6%. And you know what? We spoke about our wonderful mayor of Chicago, but the state of Illinois is 49.1. I'd like to wonder, why isn't that making the press? Illinois, super spreader event. Didn't they have Lollapalooza?
Because she's a Democrat. Forget about what you're talking about here. It's the same thing I've got. Look, it's the same thing here. The province of Alberta is a conservative province. They have, every time something goes wrong, we blame Jason Kenney, who's the premier. Jason Kenney is our version of Ron DeSantis. No joke. Look at the media. Look at the attitudes. Jason Kenney is vilified in the media like Ron DeSantis. And folks, it gets to the point where you need to look at you have to ask yourself, do you trust this media? And I'm not saying go jump onto Fox News or The Hill or Politico or whatever. I'm not talking about those guys. But the fact is that read deeper. Don't just go to the headlines. And you'll see again and again, Ron DeSantis is blamed for everything that's wrong in the United States. Joe Biden has been president of the United States, and he claims he was going to put in a mask mandate the first 100 days. He did not. He claimed that he was going to get people double vaccinated and be a world leader. He did not. But he blames DeSantis and Republican governors for his faults.
Hey, hang on a second. We were getting to the end, and I just got to throw this out there. Do you realize, just as a side note, that everyone entering the United States by an airplane has to show proof of a PCR test within 72 hours for entry?
Yes. Yeah. Same.
Do you know how many thousands of people we enter in the country every single month?
Yep.
That have never been vaccinated, have to show no proof, and are released into the country?
Yes. It's in the millions, Stuart, I'm sure.
No, it's about 100 and some odd thousand. So I would like to call all the people that are haters of Governor Ron DeSantis to look in the mirror, because you hate yourself and you just don't have an excuse for it. Guys, it's now done. We're past our time. David, what are we doing on Wednesday?
Haven't a clue.
Nor do I.
But you know what, folks? Stay tuned for our Facebook. Stay tuned for our promos that are going to be coming out tomorrow. We love you. We thank you so much for listening in again today. We'll catch you here Wednesday, live, noon Eastern. Have a great day, everybody.